and welcome to this episode of Together Thursday. Today I have Peter Rhoades from Hubbingtons. How are you doing today?
Excellent.
Awesome. Today on these videos that we're doing every week, Peter's our first guest, which I'm really excited because Peter's a great guy and I love talking to you all the time. And we've had a lot of these conversations before, so it'll be kind of fun to record it and have it to look back on as well.
Great.
You've told me a little bit, but tell me a quick version of the story of how you actually got into furniture as a business as a whole.
Well, a lot of people get into retail. Retail's not what you finish high school and say, I want to become a retail store owner. It's always by default. In my case, I went through graduate school, worked for a corporation, worked in human resources, wore suits, totally different than what I do right now.
Yeah, exactly.
I just decided in my mid-20s that I hated wearing suits, hated sitting in meetings, hated not being in control and all the political things that come with corporations. And I quit and followed my current girlfriend to New Hampshire. And I worked in manufacturing plants. I drove truck for UPS one Christmas time. I taught at Franklin Pierce for fall. I taught economics. And did that for 2 or 3 years. So I decided what I might want to do. And I actually still didn't figure it out. An employment agency sent me to a furniture store down in Northampton and said, I think it'll fit what you're looking for. And I don't think he'll force you to wear a suit.
Sign me up.
Sign me up, you're right.
You had to be in no suit.
and it'll be hands-on. So, I did. I went to interview and I did wear a suit. We've discussed this. I thought I should make a good first impression. And then before he even said, I could tell I was going to get the job because obviously I'm overqualified. I said, well, you're never going to see this again if you hire me because I will not wear this. And we compromised on, at the time, which was 30 odd years ago, we compromised at Levi cords, which were very popular at the time, and no sneakers, but casual shoes were okay. And that was good. It got me into a retail environment where the owner was growing. He was a very small business. He was looking for someone who could do anything from install a phone system to go to the furniture market to do furniture repairs, which was really, I didn't realize what I wanted. I wanted a small business. I wanted to be able to do a little of everything rather than worrying about specialized and getting permission. You just do it in small business. Yeah. So it was, worked for him for 8 odd years and decided it was time to try something myself. The internet was coming up in, 25 years ago, 1994. Yeah. The internet was just coming up and we decided we could be hiding someplace and people would still find us. So obviously our first location in Barrington was in the middle of nowhere, and putting a high-end furniture store out in the woods. Most people said, did you do market research on this? And I was sure most people thought that it was going to go down, but the internet really that and Hitchcock Furniture, which was the younger people today won't know that brand, but anyone who's been in New England for 30, 40 years knows Hitchcock was out of Connecticut, and it was a very popular line, and we were lucky enough to get it 4 months after we opened, and we made sure our prices were always the best, so people actually drove from Connecticut on north to buy from us, and that got us going. I mean, that's really when most small businesses, that first year or two, I don't know how many people have said to me, oh, if you've made it 25 years, you'll make it through a couple more recessions. You've figured out how to get through the bad times. And I think that certainly 10 years ago was slow for all of us in retail. And we did figure out that there's always someone out there who wants what you're selling. It's just you have to be better than the other 10 guys that are doing it. True.
So you mentioned that you don't wear suits anymore, but there is one suit that you still occasionally wear, and it's this classic American flag suit. We've actually seen a few versions of it now, and from what you told me earlier today is that it won't be the last version that we see. But is that putting on the suit and making these videos that some people know Hubbingtons very well for is some of your favorite parts of doing this business?
I love the ads, and because probably 10, 15 years ago, we switched over. We were always doing price ads. Mm-hmm. We were always doing, come to us because we got this chair for this price. And people started to assume that we're going to be the best price. So then let's do something more fun. And that really encourages the brand of who we are, which the brand of who we are is a fun store that, oh, by the way, we have good furniture. if this is what you're looking for, you wouldn't want to go anyplace else. And it did the favorite ad. So many people comment is the glue ad that we did probably 4 or 5 years ago, where we poured a gallon of glue on top of a bunch of sawdust and said this is what a lot of other furniture is, and that glue, which we did over and over again, has still. There was a customer in the store the other day that ad hasn't run for 4 or 5 years who brought that up, and then that led on to what you said is that we're trying to let people know that, there's at least the good furniture is made in America. There's also not so good furniture made in America, but if it's decent quality, it's made in the United States. And that's not necessarily always true for every retail area. Right. But in my case, it is. So we figured, why not? How do you let people know that? It gets boring having an ad that says, we're made in America. Every furniture store says, we make good quality. Every furniture store says that. So how do you get it across without saying it? And pointing to small towns in America where your stuff comes from, not saying made in America, but saying made in America, having an all-American suit, gets the point across it in a much more fun way.
Absolutely. Do you feel like now that, video is just not for TV and stuff like that, with the internet becoming a big player when it comes to advertising and showing yourself as a company, how has that changed, over the years? You said you came in just as the internet was starting. How did the internet shift your company in regards to social media and things of like online advertising and even SEO and things of that nature?
Well, one of the reasons we're using Loud Canvas is obviously we're really we've been touching on it for the last 4 or 5 years. Our clientele is older. Most people aren't buying out, investing in furniture in their 20s and early 30s. It's their second, third time around that they want something that lasts a little while and that they feel and that they enjoy looking at. So our clientele is slower to make that jump, which they are making it now, and so are we. Right. I think it's harder. I mean, it's good because you have to catch someone's attention very, 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 very quickly. And we were thankfully getting there with TV in the last 5-10 years. We realized if you were going to watch an ad even on TV, it better catch your eye in the first 5 seconds. Which we all know, the little thing on the screen that says you can skip this ad in so many seconds. If it doesn't catch in that time frame, I figured that out before the internet. That if it's morning TV, which is what we normally advertised on, I've got to get someone to go, what is that? When they and obviously the All American Suit did that. A typical furniture store ad that would show someone panning the store and saying, "We're having a sale this weekend." I think they'd go get another coffee.
Yeah.
So exactly. I think we're predisposed the way we advertise to fit on the internet. We're not as well educated on it, so hopefully Loud Canvas will be able to help us with that. But I think we're grounded in we know who we are, and we know what our customers like to see. We just need help getting the word out there.
Absolutely. You talked about how, obviously furniture isn't an impulse buy. Do you think that furniture being sometimes almost an investment is one of your biggest hurdles as far as selling furniture?
I think it's I don't look at it as an investment. I mean, and actually the word heirloom is a dirty word today. From my generation, heirloom was like, oh, I bought a piece of furniture, I'm going to pass it on to my kids, they're going to pass it to someone else. Kids don't want the furniture passed on. Kids don't want mom and dad's furniture. And they won't want it 20 years from now. So it really, today, I think people should buy furniture for the reason we buy a good shirt, for the reason we buy good underwear. In fact, that's one of my ads. Is that we buy it because it makes us feel good. We buy it because we look at it and we can see either more style, more workmanship, real wood. You can see into the wood. We're not going to see too far into this Formica table. And when someone starts realizing the difference, if it makes a difference, for some people it doesn't. I mean, some people don't buy better quality anything because that does, or they buy one thing quality. They might buy a quality watch, but buy cheap underwear. We have to key in on the person that likes to get up in the morning and look at their bedroom set and pull the drawer out and say, I can tell this is better than something they got from an import company. And that's, if we get that, when we get that customer, not if we get it, if we get that customer to walk in the store, they immediately go, oh, the problem is that customer is a very small market. We're constantly searching to find that customer. And frankly, that customer is searching to find us because most competitors have gone out of business. There's just no one else going after this market because it's tiny. But that's a double-edged sword, and I look at it as a benefit.
Yeah, people still need furniture, you know?
And people still want to go, wow, look what I got. And that's what we want Hubbingtons to be about. We want it to be, and we're pretty upfront with people. Some people come in and they go, I wanted to let you know, I checked everywhere, and your price was the cheapest. And I say, I know, I do too.
I did it first.
I know. So, but we don't brag about it. We don't give 10,000 discounts if you buy 4 things on Saturday afternoon at 2:00. We encourage you. Our price tags have all the stuff on them, and the manufacturer, the price. We're very upfront about who made it, and we encourage you to shop. And you'll find that we're a good price without playing all the games, which is the overall values of the business.
Classic question. In 5 years, where do you think you could see yourself with the company, and where do you want to see Hubbingtons go?
Well, I think what everybody sees in the news, I think, and I'm embracing, is that I see we have to be a destination. We've always been a driving destination, but and I don't want to have a roller coaster inside my store like the malls want. But I want to be a destination that I don't feel that type of thing embraces the values of the businesses in there. I want a destination that embraces my values, which I don't know if we'd ever make it work, but we'd love to be. We have 2 locations, and we'd love to consolidate at one of the locations and start getting some more outdoor space, and possibly have once or twice a year events where we invite our builders to come in, publicize the heck out of it to encourage people to come in and talk with the builder.
Yeah.
I like that dresser, but I want it 2 inches taller. Or couldn't you do something different with the drawers? Talk to the guy that builds it. I think our customer base would go wild over that.
Yeah.
And that's the direction that I'd like to go, while keeping the intimacy that we have right now, which is lost, and we're hoping for more business online. But frankly, we want the people online to come in. We want them to educate online, but we want them to make their final purchase if they can in the store, so they can get that final, I missed that feature. There's just so much you can do with American furniture that something that comes from Vietnam and is available in 3 colors. That's your options. That's perfect internet sale. Ours is much more of a, oh, by the way, did you know there's 5 different casters you can get on that chair?
Right.
And we want you to know that if you want the 5th one that we don't show, we can get it for you.
That's awesome. I think a lot of customers appreciate, the flexibility of going the extra mile for someone. And for you guys, you decided that it's more about the furniture and stuff rather than the price, where it's like, we give you the best price, and that's not what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about the furniture itself and how we can make this the best piece for you.
Yeah, you're right. I don't want to have a blowout sale every weekend because anyone who has that, it's not legitimate. At this point, the public knows that. What was the price last weekend? My friend bought last weekend. Did they get screwed? And that kind of situation. I hate it. My staff, people wouldn't work for me who work for me now, because they'd say, "What about Shirley from 3 weeks ago? I like her, and now it's on sale, and no one told her." No, the upfront values are something we continue with all of our customers, and I think it causes a repeat customer. We've got customers who after they get divorced, this side gets this. We had a customer a few years ago. He got the hutch and she got the dining table, and they both came in and got the piece to complete their set at their new homes. That's how much continuity we have with our customers.
That's awesome. Obviously, furniture is a whole specific thing in itself when it comes to starting a business, but there's a lot of advice that kind of applies to lots of business. What's a good piece of advice that you can give to someone who's starting their own business?
Well, it's funny. I think a lot of people might say, love your product, but I don't know if that's has to be. In fact, that may be the wrong thing, because I'd say love the environment, and I love the old scenario. You can work whatever 70 hours a week you want, but if you like doing it, it's not work. It's part of your lifestyle, and you move in and out of it seamlessly. Even if you're seeing someone at 8 o'clock at night and they bring up your business, you're talking about your business. Is that work? No, because it's part of your personality. So I think you have to find a business that you enjoy the product, but you enjoy the way the product is marketed, and you enjoy the customer that's buying from you. Because I get a lot of satisfaction saying that, working the dock on Saturdays when my guys are doing deliveries, because I hear I'm loading someone up when they're finalized, they're glad they bought what they bought. They're talking about my staff. They're talking about the environment. They're giving me feedback as far as what I might change. You wouldn't get that if you were an employee and you're working in an office. So it's enjoying the process, I think, is and if you enjoy the process, and you do have to listen and constantly compromise your values a little bit, maybe with what the customer wants, but don't go. I try my hardest to make sure I stick with what I know I can do well. Anybody can ride the wave. It's a combination of riding the wave and also making the wave so it works for me too. Which every business does that. Every business that succeeds is a combination of what you as a customer wants and what I kind of like doing. And if you go too far either direction, you alienate the customer or you alienate me. Right. So a good balance, I think, makes a business last 25 years.
Awesome. Yeah, and you guys have been around for 25 years, 25 and that's years, so awesome. Lastly, how has Loud Canvas Media been a part of the relationship between you and Hubbingtons?
Well, it's a fairly new relationship, as you know, but we've been through 2 or 3 internet companies, as most small businesses have, trying to find one that embraces who we are. I think what I see here is that Loud Canvas is asked a lot of questions. Understands something that some of the agencies don't. They don't know my business. Nor do I expect them to, even if I'm with them for decades. I know my business. I work my business, and they're always asking for feedback. They're also everyone here is here when I need them. I'm not. There's not. I don't. At least I don't think so. It's transparent to me. There's not a hierarchy of this guy gives us this much money a year, and this guy gives us this money, so ignore him, or don't respond to him for 4 days. When response isn't necessary right away, they're smart enough to know, okay, it's not an emergency. If I need an answer, I can get it pretty quick. And I think there's constant change and feedback as to where's our direction going now. How should we change it a little bit? What's going on? How successful is that working? I find it's more intimate than most agencies we've used in the past. In fact, than any agency we've used in the past. So we're in the honeymoon phase. I hope it continues, and I suspect it will because it seems like the agency hires people who want to see the businesses they work with bloom, and they know that it isn't the same for everyone. Mm-hmm. And too many times that's exactly what you get. You get a here's the package, and you immediately feel this isn't going to work. Yeah. So I'm very pleased that everything that's happened so far. It's very much the values of my business is that we like what we do. Yeah. And we're going to show you how to take your business to the next level. And for me, I haven't been exposed to so much of the social media on my own that I need help and guidance, and I have to go with someone I trust. And there's a lot of trust with Loud Canvas. Awesome.
We also like keeping it fun, so let's have a quick speed round of some fun questions. You ready?
Yeah.
All right. What is a good book that you read recently?
Sorry, I read the Wall Street Journal all the time. Not a lot of books. So I'm a big, still old school, big old newspaper reader. So not too many books.
All right. What is your favorite classic movie?
Oh, let's say Jaws.
Jaws. That's a good one. I like it. Oh, what's a popular food you can't stand?
Tofu.
Tofu. Can't stand tofu?
No, I don't know if it's consistency or something like that.
I can definitely understand the consistency.
One of my employees tries to share it with me, and I don't like it.
What's your favorite hobby that's not related to work?
Fixing up old Volkswagens.
Oh, very cool. That's right. You have a van, right?
I have 4. One's selling this afternoon, so I have 3. Yeah, but fixing up old Volkswagens, I love it.
And lastly, what's a random fun fact about yourself?
Oh, random fun fact. I'm trying to think what my customers pick on me for. I'd say the fact that I wear sneakers all the time.
Yeah.
and jeans.
Yes.
And white socks.
It's true. Yeah. You really are against the no suit thing, and I love it. All right. Thank you so much for this interview. It was a lot of fun. Where can people find your business and find you online?
Oh, it's easy. We don't even put .com after our name because there's only one Hubbingtons, and we're a registered trademark. So it's all you have to do is search for Hubbing, and you'll find us.
Yeah.
And we're located in Barrington on Route 125, which is Caleb Highway, and our newer store is down in Northampton on Route 1. It's in an old barn, a registered historic trademark,
Yes.
landmark for the Park Service. And we're hoping we're starting to look at possibly putting an addition on Northampton in the coming years, because we love being in an old barn and all the history. It just goes perfect with our furniture.
So cool. I really enjoy being in that store. And if you haven't been there yet, you definitely need to check out that store. It's so cool. So, all right. Thank you so much for joining me, Peter. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next week. Bye.